North Hollywood, February 1997. This is the case that would change the rules forever. Officers find themselves against a fully automatic modified AK-47 with armored, piercing bullets. Two bank robbers wearing body armor unleash a barrage of
Backing up my game and I'ma head out west where real women come equipped with scripts and fake press. Find a nest in the hills, chill like Flint. Buy an old drop top, find a spot to dip. Then I'm
and the sun's shining down. With a top left back and the sun's shining down. With a top left back and the sun's shining down. With a top left back and the sun's shining.
guys like us, guys like us, guys like us, you cuss, they claim the bus. Guys like us, but can't touch. Look, we fall from the guys like us, guys like cowboy. Guys like us, you cuss, they claim the bus. Guys like us, but can't touch. Look, we fall from the guys like us. Look, guys like us, guys like us, guys like us, you cuss, they claim the bus. Guys like us, but can't touch. Look, we fall from the guys like us. Look, guys like us, guys like
basically a civilian version of the
nervously as the gunfire approaches.
Guys like us, you cuss, they claim the bus. Guys like us, but can't touch. Look, we fall from the guys like us. Look, guys like us, guys like us, you cuss, they claim the bus. Now our guys like us, but can't touch. Look, we fall from the guys like us.
The driver guys like us. Police arrive. He hits the accelerator, leaving his partner behind. True honor up on field. The other gunman is trapped. Down to a pistol, he continues to shoot a policeman, not caring what happens. His gun gets shot from his hand, and with the police closing in, the suspect has nowhere to go. A block away, the driver searches for a tougher car, one sturdy enough to ram through any more police resistance. This pickup will do just fine. As the robber calmly transfers his gear to the truck, other civilians continue to drive by unaware. Police know that if he gets rolling again with that firepower still at his side, he may be unstoppable. He sees the officers coming. He bails, preparing to deal with them the same way he's dealt with everyone else.
Hey guys, how you doing? Spike Radio, Daniel, Doug. I'm gonna go over some of the North Hollywood shootout. Happened back in the day, over 20 years ago. I was actually called in to a neighboring school in that area when other workers did not want to go in. I was asked to watch the playground, and I brought nunchucks with me. Thank you for tuning in to Spike Radio, Friday edition.
February 28, 1997. North Hollywood, located in the heart of the bank robbery capital of the world, Los Angeles. It's a high-stakes heist gone bad. An urban firefight that rivals battles in war-torn Iraq. It's one of the most violent shootouts in American police history. Television cameras on the ground and in the air capture the surreal scene live. Two paramilitary-style gunmen take over a bank using terrorist technology. Donning full body armor and automatic weapons, they charge out of a Bank of America branch in North Hollywood. With brutal and brazen disregard, they fire armor-piercing ammo into police and civilians. A congested residential area turns into a combat zone. The shootout will end with deaths and dozens of injuries. The roots of the shootout trace back to 1989. Larry Phillips Jr. meets Emil Matasareanu working out at Gold's Gym in Venice, California.
That was actually a gym I used to train at when I played high school football.
Starving to strike it rich, they pump up for a lawless life. Larry already has a long rap sheet. He orchestrated a few real estate scams and was prosecuted for grand theft. Emil Matasareanu, an immigrant from Romania, is an unsuccessful software consultant. In October 1993, Glendale, California police pull over Phillips and Matasareanu and discover an arsenal of weapons in their vehicle. After a plea bargain and 3 months in jail, the two gun fanatics petition the court and retrieve their weapons. By 1996, Phillips makes Matasareanu a partner in his next scheme, robbing banks.
I think they found something that they were good at, and this might have been the only thing they were real good at.
In May of 1996, they robbed 2 Bank of America branches in the San Fernando Valley and seize over $1.5 million. It's all caught on videotape.
They were takeover bandits. They would not pass a note. They wouldn't bother with the tellers. They would walk in, shoot a number of rounds into the ceiling, force everybody to the ground.
They stormed the bank wearing masks and some type of protective armor underneath it, and obtained a large amount of money for a normal bank robbery at that time.
9 months pass before the thugs plot their next heist. The Bank of America in North Hollywood. This particular branch is located at 6600 Laurel Canyon Boulevard, a busy thoroughfare near the 170 freeway. There are 2 large parking lots on the bank's north and south side. Residential homes run along the back of the bank. Across the street are many commercial businesses and restaurants.
They did some research. They staked out and observed the bank and observed the armored car drop-offs and pickups. And they also observed the interior of the bank because they knew exactly where the door was, which was the entrance to behind the counter and into the vaulted area.
February 28, 1997. The robbers dress to kill. Phillips dons 43 pounds of body armor made of Kevlar, a woven substance which is 5 times stronger than steel. He painstakingly sewed together his body armor, which covers the top of his neck down to his ankles. Matasareanu sloppily made his armor, which doesn't cover his arms and legs. However, he inserts a trauma plate into the front of his Kevlar vest to protect vital organs.
You can't buy that body armor. They made it. That shows a lot of planning.
The most chilling elements of their plan are the weapons. They assemble 3 AK-47s with 100-round ammo drums, 1 M16 fully automatic Bushmaster rifle, an H&K 91 assault rifle, illegally modified to be fully automatic, 2 9mm handguns, and a .38 caliber revolver.
They were familiar with automatic weapons through the books and things that they read.
They also load up with close to 3,000 rounds, including armor-piercing ammo, the kind that can penetrate cars, not to mention bulletproof vests, from 200 yards away. Their strategy? Outgun and out-armor the cops. The robbers also wear gloves with stopwatches sewn in them. They got this idea from the film Heat, which features a bank robbery. They will follow the 8-minute rule, the max amount of time spent in the bank. They've determined this is typically how long it takes cops to respond to a robbery. Approximately 8:30 a.m. From their Van Nuys safe house, the bandits head east toward North Hollywood in a white Chevrolet Celebrity.
Emil was the follower, Larry was...
Toward North Hollywood in a white Chevrolet Celebrity.
Emil was the follower, Larry was the leader, right? 2 complete psychos.
Phillips and Matasauranu pull into the Bank of America's north parking lot. While waiting for the bank to open, they both swallow the barbiturate phenobarbital, a muscle relaxant. 9 a.m. Bank of America is open for business. At 9:17 a.m. Officers Lauren Farrell and Martin Perillo just happened to be cruising by. They witness 2 masked men entering the bank. It's a rare but fortuitous moment. They call for backup.
We have a possible 211 in progress at the Bank of America. We have shots fired.
Larry Phillips and Emil Matasauranu storm into the bank. Armed with fully automatic AK-47s, they fire numerous rounds at the ceiling and order everyone to the floor.
Definitely a takeover technique, but unlike anything that I'd ever seen. This particular branch had what we call bandit barriers in it, which are glass partitions that go from the counters to the ceilings. With their high-powered weaponry, they were able to shoot open the lock that gained access back there.
Phillips forces the bank manager into the vault to fill their money bag. When he sees only small denomination bills, he releases a burst of automatic fire.
Larry became immediately enraged and yelled out, "Where's the money? Where's the rest of the money? I know you have more money in this bank." And they didn't, because he altered the...
So the shootout happened about 9 a.m. in the morning. Kids were already in school. Non-teachers, yard assistants, people like that were just getting in at 9 and 10 a.m., usually in the elementary schools. And me being about 3 miles away from this actual shootout, literally the Del Taco that I like is right next door to that Bank of America. But me being just a few miles away, I'd already been working with kids at the time. The organization I was working for called me up to see that if I would go down there to watch the schoolyard. Literally be placed on the schoolyard because employees were not coming into work. And me being a young idiot, I grabbed my nunchucks, no joke, hopped in the car and drove over. If they show a map, I'll try and point out the school.
Schedule.
Undaunted, Phillips heads to the bank's ATM machine for more cash.
They tried to get the branch manager to open that ATM. Policies had been changed and the branch manager no longer had access to the ATM cash.
This robbery is far from routine. It will become nothing short of a full-scale military battle.
All officers were securing the perimeter and attempting to keep traffic from coming or going.
15 to 20 officers position themselves around the inner perimeter of the bank, known as the Circle of Fire. One of the officers is James Aborovan, who's been out of the police academy for only 2 months.
All the training was kicking in. I was thinking about policy and procedure, tactics. You're looking for tactical superiority. You're looking around you for structures that will provide cover if there is gunfire.
Officer Zaborovan and his training partner, Stuart Guy, find cover behind a locksmith kiosk located across the street from the bank. They hunker down alongside detectives Tracy.
That's the Sears parking lot. I've actually done live streams from that parking lot. Well, behind the Sears, but that's in front of the Sears.
Angeles and John Krulak.
Because we were one of the first people to arrive on the location, they were asking for someone to cover the front of the bank, which we elected to do. We thought we had a couple of guys in the bank with nothing but handguns, so we felt pretty secure being across the street behind the kiosk, which is about 50 yards from the bank.
My partner and myself had body armor. Unbeknownst to us at the time, the gunman inside had, AK-47s that our body armor does not stop.
Employees, 4 shots are being fired from inside the bank. I want 1 unit on the north side. I want a unit on the south side.
Yeah, 420 in the house.
North Hollywood detectives and officers find cover around the back of the bank.
The strategy in all of these things is to contain the suspects at a location, control the situation, and attempt to take them into custody, whether through negotiations or their absolute surrender.
Officer Martin Whitfield, 6 years on the job, and veteran Sergeant Dean Haynes deploy themselves in the intersection closest to the bank's north door.
Personnel 42 is requesting a unit to safely position themselves in front of the front door.
9:25 a.m. After approximately 8 minutes, the gunmen abandoned the heist with a little over $300,000. They had expected to clear over $750,000, like they had in the previous robberies.
The reason why this shootout was, lots of you out there in the YouTube universe know better than I do, but the reason why the shootout was so impactful on the United States was because it changed the artillery, the bulletproof vest type of equipment. It changed everything for police forces across the country. The reason why it's relevant to me is not just because I'm very local to it, but I was called into the school not because I have guns and I'm a ninja and I'm Rambo, but because their adults were not coming into work because of this. And the kids were scared. And we didn't know when it was happening live. We didn't know if these guys walking around the streets of Laurel Canyon and North Hollywood were going to end up walking into a school. Columbine had just happened a few years prior, but yeah, we were all on alert. Everybody was on alert. The entire valley.
Larry Phillips emerges from the bank's north door. Emil Matasauranu exits from the south door. Wearing combat fatigues and clutching AK-47s, they look ready for battle.
And this all aired live on the news.
The northwest intersection of Laurel Canyon and Archwood.
I believe Phillips was surprised. He wasn't scared. He saw a police car in the intersection at Laurel Canyon and Archwood. It was Sergeant Dean Haynes and a few civilians. Phillips raised his AK-47 and began firing at the police car.
Bullets penetrate Sergeant Dean Haynes' vehicle, causing it to violently shake. Fluids pour out everywhere.
I don't think they were skilled at firing. They were more or less spray and pray, as they say, shoot at anything that moved, and that's what they were trying to do.
Stay down, rapid automatic fire. They're panning the area with fire.
Armor-piercing bullets continue to rip into Sergeant Haynes' black and white. One bullet strikes a male civilian in the chest. A woman suffers an ankle wound.
A bullet exits the Kalashnikov. Police are convinced that the patrol car will provide cover. But the slug slices straight through the metal. Another bullet slams into Tracy Fisher.
It felt like somebody had taken a baseball bat and hit my foot.
The suspect possibly has armor-piercing ammunition.
Phillips' obsession with weaponry has given him the upper hand. He combed the world for ammunition to defeat a police ambush. He discovered steel-plated bullets made in the former Soviet bloc, which can penetrate car metal. He imported them by the thousand.
Matasauranu sprays fire in all directions. At the same time, Phillips targets the locksmith kiosk directly across the street from the bank.
Liliana, you probably remember this pretty well.
Within seconds, Sergeant Dean Haynes is shot. He radios for help. This is his actual call.
Code 3, all officers stay down. Shots are being fired from AK-47. There is an officer down.
One of the operators fielding calls at the control center is Guadalupe de la Cruz. She's still training to qualify as a radio operator, but she understands the gravity of Officer Haynes' transmission.
The worst call that we can possibly get as a radio telephone operator is an officer down, an officer that's injured. That's our highest priority.
James Zaborovan is still taking cover behind the kiosk with his 12-gauge shotgun. When he hears the words "officer down," he makes a big decision. 9 pieces of buckshot streak across the street and strike Larry Phillips in the upper body. It's a textbook police body shot, and he waits for the gunman to go down. But, concealed under bulky clothes, Phillips is wearing body armor, neck to toe. He spent weeks painstakingly cutting and stitching bulletproof material called aramid into full bodysuits. Both men reinforce their armor with
Just to revisit this in real time. So this happens around 9 o'clock in the morning. The shootout lasts about 45 minutes, which in real time feels like hours. It was on the live news on all stations probably within 15 minutes. I was at the school right off Laurel Canyon probably 15 minutes after that. It was Friday morning, I remember, because I was definitely planning on being a reckless young lad on Friday night that day. I was supposed to go into work at that school around, back then I was young and dumb, so I was working as a homework instructor. I was helping kids with homework, so I'd usually show up at work around 1 o'clock. I was called in at 9 in the morning. I was probably hungover and asked to come in because the other assistants and whatnot weren't coming in. Nobody wanted to drive into North Hollywood. But without doxing myself, I'm 3 miles west of this shootout, almost perfectly horizontal as far as the cross street of Laurel Canyon goes. So I bolted down. I threw on some shoes, probably some shitty Adidas, hopped in the car. And again, I'm no Rambo. I didn't have an AK-47 or an Uzi or anything. I grabbed my nunchucks. Not kidding. I already had a baseball bat in the car, but I brought my nunchucks and my Rambo knife, my survival knife. So you were only, Liliana, you were only a couple miles to the west. This is actually, Laurel Canyon is probably the center, the midpoint between where you were and where I was at the time. But yeah, I hopped in my car. I definitely was unshaven, didn't comb my hair. I just threw on a cap, ran over to this school. And of course, being young and dumb, I had that false belief that I'm bulletproof. I didn't care, kind of thing. But watching this on the news, we didn't have the convenience of YouTube or social media, so I couldn't grab my cell phone and watch it on the cell phone live. I basically turned off the TV, hopped in the car, drove over there, and kept my eyes open. I think people used to keep their eyes open a little better back in the day.
Metal plates over their vital organs. Phillips carries more than 18 kilograms of protection, about the equivalent in weight to 5 bowling balls. 5 times stronger than steel, Aramid can withstand the force of the pellets and is flexible enough to absorb the energy.
Phillips spun around. He immediately locked on in our position, and for a split second or two, we were looking at each other. He raised that AK-47 and began spraying the fully automatic gunfire. Bullets were racing through the key shop. We're being, hit with shrapnel. And I had realized that the detectives weren't wearing body armor.
Zaborovan shields the detectives as best he can. Like Phillips, he's wearing body armor. But his standard issue Kevlar vest is built to resist lead projectiles from small arms, not steel-coated bullets from a high-velocity rifle. A slug rips through his vest into his lower back. The second bullet enters its side and exits his upper leg.
It was a very, very intense burning sensation. Almost like I was on fire.
After that, it's just every other call that came out was just officers going down.
We need help out here with the officers down. Yes, you better get an attack alert here.
It was very scary to hear them scared, to hear them hurt and not being able to help each other.
You don't know how many officers are down? We have one.
More than one.
They kept saying one officer is down here, one officer is down there. You think, okay, there's one officer, but they kept saying different places. And finally I said, does anyone know how many officers are down?
You don't know how many officers are down? We have one.
More than one.
And this guy who was shot, James Zaborovan, he screams, more than one, more than one. I was like, oh my God, they are just dead everywhere.
At the junction of Laurel Canyon and Archwood, north of the bank, Martin Whitfield is next to go down.
Officer down at the southwest corner of Hickory and Laurel Canyon.
In a grotesque twist, Whitfield's fiancée, Kim, is listening to it all on a police radio.
So as we're watching this live on the news at the time, obviously we didn't have all the live body cam footage or anything. We were watching from the helicopters, cameras, they'll show it again, but we literally saw the dudes walking down the street with the bulletproof vests getting shot. They were pulling cameras back, obviously, from close-ups on graphic things, and we were listening to the radio or the newscopter broadcasting. It was pretty intense.
At home. The gunmen continue blasting at anything that moves. The first news crews arrive on the ground and capture these extraordinary images. Police and medics scramble for cover, unable to get to the injured. News choppers now circle above, providing a live grandstand view to millions of TV viewers.
They were actually firing on us right now.
On the ground, officers watch their bullets bounce off the gunman's armor.
He had body armor all up and down, and our 9mm weren't penetrating. That would just put a stark fear into you, because you're thinking, I've already shot at this guy 27 times, and it's like, wow, what, it's not fair.
He's got heavy body armor. Go for the head.
To end the battle, someone...
They'll probably mention it, but another thing that happened, there's a gun store right around the corner. And police forces were actually, quote unquote, borrowing weaponry from the gun store just to be able to fight off these guys. People roaming the streets with AK-47s was definitely not a popular or expected event those days.
Needs to take a headshot. But officers are too far away to hit the target with their handguns. James Zaboravan has been shot twice, but he's determined to survive.
I said to myself, just because you're shot doesn't mean you're going to die. I'm not going to lay there and resign myself to death. I'm going to get up and fight, take cover, what have you, but I'm not going to stay there.
Phillips runs out of ammo and reloads. Working on sheer adrenaline, wounded officer Zavoraban and the others attempt to find better cover.
Phillips, he would take turns shooting from car to car. And what we would do, we would run from car to car. And those rounds were coming in one door, out the other. We were being hit by pieces of the car, the glass. And besides being wounded by bullets, we were actually cut and wounded by pieces of the car and asphalt as well.
Detective Krulak receives a gunshot wound in the right ankle.
At first, it felt like somebody just took and hit me in the ankle with a hammer. And with your adrenaline flowing, you're not really thinking about the pain.
Both gunmen continue to spray the perimeter of the bank with deadly fire.
Their only hope is that the criminals will go. When, 7 minutes into the firefight, Matasaranu climbs in the Chevy and shouts at Phillips to do the same, officers pray they'll make their getaway without further bloodshed.
If they had wanted to get away at that point, they could have drove out that parking lot right then.
But Phillips knows he's packing the bigger weapons. And
the microphone was muted. A quick recap for Nova. Remember when I went to Del Taco last Friday? Well, that Del Taco was right next to this bank here. This North Hollywood shootout was a very well-known shootout that happened back in my first couple of years of working at the schools. So I think back in the VV days we talked a little bit about this, but just to recap my bestie, Nova. So I was called in to work at this school that day. The school was right around the corner from the shootout. Nobody wanted to come into work that day, and I wasn't the teacher or anything. I was just a homework assistant. And I drove down 9 in the morning. I drove down with my nunchucks and covered the schoolyard. So just going over this shootout. And the reason why it's so prevalent, this particular shootout, was This is the first of its kind. This was maybe the only of its kind as far as guys walking around with automatic rifles, just shooting out everybody. It was a bank robbery gone wrong, the North Hollywood shootout. So we're just going over a little bit of the footage.
He's not finished yet. LAPD is faced with an unprecedented scenario. Robbers who want to stay and fight.
We had never dealt with a situation like that in the history of law enforcement in this country. I mean, this was the first time that they had a shootout of that magnitude.
In the parking lot across the street, Zaborovan's partner, Stuart Guy, and Detective Tracy Angeles have fled the kiosk and cower behind 2 vehicles. But gunman Emil Matasareanu is starting to find his range. Stuart Guy is seriously injured. He knows from police training how to enhance his chances of surviving gunshot trauma. He stays as still as he can and controls his breathing. This slows his heart rate, which reduces his blood loss and buys precious time to get rescued.
Officer Guy uses his gun belt as a tourniquet to stop the bleeding. His injuries are grave. Detective Tracy Angeles, who received graze wounds on her stomach and buttocks, reassures Officer Guy that help is on the way.
At the junction north of the bank, officers and civilians are still pinned down. Officer Whitfield and Sergeant Haynes realize nobody is coming to rescue them. So, when there's a break in firing, they run for help. Haynes trips and falls. Whitfield keeps running, but bullets whistle about him. He decides to take cover behind a tree. He grabs it, but his momentum carries him round until he's exposed to Larry Phillips. A bullet hits his femur bone, dead center. 13 centimeters of bone explode, 6-centimeter splinter through his leg. A 4th bullet strikes him in the chest. Whitfield's distraught fiancée, Kim, hears his calls for help. She can't understand why colleagues aren't going in to rescue him.
989, I'm losing consciousness. I'm in Laurel Canyon.
Whitfield continues to plead for help, using his radio ID code 9L89.
989, I need somebody to help.
9089, hang in there.
The radio operator who gets his call is rookie Lupe de la Cruz. She knows from her training how critical it is to keep Whitfield conscious.
If he stopped talking to me, then they would never find him. So that was just my biggest fear. I wanted to keep hearing his voice and making sure that he was still there.
9089, 9037 is almost there. Hang in there.
I hope you know.
9089, hang in there. 9037 is almost there.
989, thank you. Thank you for talking.
Just hang in there a little bit longer. Someone's going to get to you. They're going to find you.
Officers Todd Schmitz and Tony Kabunik listen in agony as Lupe de la Cruz pleads for someone to go and help Whitfield.
Any unit that's available to respond to 9L89, 6600 block of Laurel Canyon.
I have to save him. If I was in that position, man, I would want somebody to come help me.
He's losing consciousness. Officer has been hit.
They will make a gutsy move. They will enter the line of fire to save a downed officer. At one point, Phillips retrieves an H&K 91 assault rifle with 308 caliber rounds, even more deadly than the AK-47. While police fire deflects the robber's attention, Van Nuys officers Todd Schmitz and Anthony Kabunik attempt to rescue wounded officer Martin Whitfield. But as they enter the strike zone, they discover Officer Stuart Guy pinned down in the parking lot.
There's Anthony Kabunik and Todd Schmitz lift Stewart into the back of the police car and backed out of that parking lot as fast as they could. Without regard for their own safety, those two officers basically braved the gunfire to find downed officers.
And some of our gang officers and our detectives went to BNB Guns Code 3.
One officer is at a gun store getting several AR-15s for the unit.
They actually built a police station down the street from the shootout after that happened, because there isn't a police station in North Hollywood. There wasn't at the time.
The cops borrow several assault rifles with .223 caliber ammo. But by the time they're deployed, the first SWAT unit arrives.
Martin Whitfield is still bleeding out in the kill zone. 18 minutes into the gun battle, with the police on their knees, SWAT arrives. Before tackling the gunman, SWAT has a more urgent priority: rescuing Officer Whitfield and the civilians. To do this, they need to go right into the heart of the shooting. The question is, how? Then, one of the officers spots something. It's an armored truck with today's cash delivery. Could the 15-ton steel vehicle be just what they need to deliver Whitfield out of the danger zone? 5 officers commandeer the truck. They climb in and drive through gunfire towards Whitfield. He's still breathing, but he's lost several pints of blood and is barely conscious. They scoop his motionless body into the back. Now, just the civilians remain in the kill zone, but time is running out for one of them.
Mikey was bleeding a lot, and that's what concerned me. I mean, he was sitting in a pool of his own blood.
While the armored truck rescues victims, the gunmen are fleeing the bank's north parking lot. Phillips continues to fire rounds while he walks alongside the slowly moving getaway car driven by Mata Serrano.
I'm going to guess is that one said get in the car and the other one said no, I'll provide the cover fire while you drive the car down the street.
Knowing SWAT is packing automatic rifles, the gunmen make a break for it.
Okay, we have some gunfire right now going on. Just saw some puff of smoke coming out of the side.
Millions of TV viewers watch Larry Phillips lead on foot while his partner drives the Chevy loaded with weapons and ammunition.
We've got one suspect driving the white vehicle from the north parking lot. We've got one suspect on foot. There's that prospect vehicle. Do not stop it. They've got automatic weapons. There's nothing we have that can stop them.
Officers are desperate to prevent their march into a residential neighborhood. They shoot out all 4 tires. But this fails to stop them.
It was like, oh my God. It's not ending. It won't stop. It won't end.
The thing that scared me the most was that these 2 guys, who were clearly the worst people I had ever dealt with, the most dangerous, the most violent, were going to get away.
Roger that at Long Island. The vehicle is not coming out. He may be hit. The other suspect is walking on the east side of the vehicle. He's taking it right down.
Everybody down, shots are being fired. One suspect is possibly injured inside the vehicle and one is outside the white vehicle to the rear of the bank.
Phillips appears unfazed as officers shoot out the tires on the getaway car.
Inexplicably, Phillips now splits with his partner. Whether he's planning to escape or to inflict more collateral damage isn't clear, but it presents officers with fresh terror.
And 45 officers out here in my end to stay down. There's all kinds of ricochets flying. Stay down, everybody.
All officers stay down. Shots are still being fired.
We've got one suspect on foot. We've got one suspect driving the white vehicle.
Mata Serrano continues to drive, while Phillips ducks behind a tractor trailer.
The suspect
on. Some of this is the footage that we saw live on the news. Like that white car right there with the hood, with the trunk open. We saw that live on the news. helicopter footage.
On foot is behind a long truck trailer rig.
We left the backyard and we headed up the street to cut them off. I was met by Officer Caparelli, who was running away from the corner and shooting back behind him. He ran by me. I said, "What are you shooting at?" He said, "There's another one. He's under that truck."
What takes place next is the critical turning point in the entire conflict, and police can't even see it.
Obviously, in retrospect, we know that there was only 2 shooters. But again, in real time, we didn't know if there were 2 or 5 or 1. At the time, we didn't know. We had no clue. That's why all the neighborhoods were a little dangerous. You didn't know if you were just going to be driving by and have some guy pop out with an AK-47 or an M16 or whatever.
Hidden by the truck, Phillips attaches a fresh 100-round drum to his AK-47 and continues spraying bullets. A police bullet rips into the thumb on his left hand. He continues shooting, but moments later, his AK-47 suffers what's known as a stovepipe jam. After it fires a bullet, the AK-47 ejects the casing. But if the rifle suffers excess movement, a shell can become misaligned. It then gets trapped in the ejection port. To clear the jam, all Phillips needs to do is flick the trapped shell with his thumb. But because his hand's badly injured, he can't. He's forced to discard the AK-47 and produce his final weapon. It's a 9mm Beretta handgun, exactly the same model as the one carried by the police.
Then I'm thinking, we're even now, buddy.
But Phillips carries on shooting.
Again, that right there is real footage. And that was also something that we saw, not so zoomed in, but from the helicopter.
He stoops to retrieve his dropped weapon and realizes there's no escape.
Obviously not that part.
Larry Phillips Jr. is dead.
Officers fire at Phillips. One round strikes his hand. He drops his gun. Then he picks it up, points it under his chin, and squeezes the trigger. At the same moment, a police bullet rips through his shoulder and severs his spine.
But his partner is still on the loose.
To be completely accurate, I think this might be a reenact. Obviously, the close-up was a reenactment, but on the helicopter footage, we saw that guy walking down the street like a zombie with bulletproof gear all over him.
He's got 3 automatic rifles and 2,000 rounds of ammunition.
The second suspect, Emil Matasareanu, still flees down a residential street. He suddenly exits the passenger side and blasts the area with automatic fire.
Be advised, the suspect in the white vehicle is at Lamp. He's out of the vehicle. He's shooting at civilians.
The suspect is out of the vehicle at Lamp shooting at civilians.
Matasareanu then hobbles around to the driver's side. Police now believe he has been hit in the lower leg.
The suspect is back in the white vehicle. He is now moving slowly eastbound between Lamp and Beck.
It was literally impossible to block every side street simply because of the sheer numbers of side streets and people that live in the area.
Matasareanu suddenly fires through his windshield and strikes an oncoming Jeep pickup truck.
He fires 3 rounds directly through the windscreen at driver Bill Maher.
Back window, everything just turns to confetti and pain sets in. All of that in the flash of an eye.
Bill flees his truck, covered in blood. He's no idea what injuries he suffered.
My arm hurts, my head hurts, blood was gushing, but I'll figure that out later. My concern was getting away from the scene.
Matasauranu sees a patrol car speeding towards him. He fires a shot, then transfers his guns into the truck and climbs in. It is now he makes an alarming discovery. Bill has taken the keys.
Officers wave the SWAT unit down the street. They think they're going to rescue someone injured. Instead, they pull up within feet of the suspect. Matasauranu abandons the hijacked truck and fires at SWAT from the hood of his getaway car.
More shots are being fired. Shots are being fired.
SWAT officers pummel rounds under 3 vehicles toward Matasauranu's feet. The suspect returns fire at close range using a fully automatic M16 rifle.
Be advised, the suspect is prone out. He may be shooting underneath the vehicle towards officers.
The officer is prone out and possibly shooting at the officers from under the vehicle.
In looking back at it, I believe we had fired maybe 15, 16 rounds apiece.
After almost 2 minutes of intense fire, Matasauranu drops his weapon. The SWAT unit carefully draws near the suspect.
The suspect on Archwood is in custody.
9:59 a.m. Emil Matasauranu is handcuffed.
The patrol car screams towards the truck, but it isn't carrying regular officers. This is SWAT.
I fired 2 rounds through the windshield of the suspect's vehicle.
Anderson shoots the suspect, flush in the chest. He thinks he's ended the gun battle.
I saw the suspect go down.
But the suspect is saved by his armor. To Anderson's horror, Matasauranu resurfaces.
And I thought, maybe I'm the world's worst shot.
They exchange more fire. Then, a SWAT officer's worst nightmare. Anderson's gun jams. As he clears it, he has an idea. Under the car, he spots a chink in Matasauranu's armor. The suspect isn't wearing protection on his lower legs.
I proned out, aimed, and continued to fire at the suspect.
Welcome, Mr. B.
When the line froze, what did I see? A bad motherfucker standing next to me with his eyes closed, told he can't see. Trying to follow orders, just go on and be free. Be free like a bird, so today I'm a fly. Bad, bad motherfucker till the day I die. Be free like a bird, so today I'm a fly. Bad, bad motherfucker till the day I die.
I got a bad attitude, yeah, wanna know why? Fake motherfuckers round me take my friendship as a free ride. Always FaceTiming random people like it's nothing when they thrown up in my face like up church, say so. God dang motherfucker, what you want me to say? I've been pulling the motor out of my 88 Chevrolet. I just ate me a ham sandwich, now I'm taking the shit. Not on the toilet, my honky, but on the microphone, bitch. iPhone always buzzing cause my notifications. So many likes on my pictures, my Instagram heart racing. Oh shit, cardiac arrest, I think I made a statement. Share these lyrics, get this realness in the fucking rotation. I swear to God, I'm so floating a boat on pavement. Got that body that even stolen, find that stuff constantly craving. Long Johns, half a sleeve, with a quarter bag of weed. Smoking rooms, guitar strings, rolling stone between the trees. Yeah, I'm set, I don't need $1 million house with paved roads. Give me a hand and get some raw cone so I can blow.
When the line froze, what did I see? A bad motherfucker standing next to me with his eyes closed, told he can't see. Trying to follow orders, just go on and be free. Be free like a bird, so today I'm a fly. Bad, bad motherfucker till the day I
in feet of the suspect. Matasauranu abandons the hijacked truck and fires at SWAT from the hood of his getaway car.
More shots are being fired. Shots are being fired.
SWAT officers pummel rounds under 3 vehicles toward Matasaranu's feet. The suspect returns fire at close range using a fully automatic M16 rifle.
Be advised, the suspect is prone out. He may be shooting underneath the vehicle towards officers.
The suspect is prone out and possibly shooting at the officers from under the vehicle.
In looking back at it, I believe we had fired maybe 15, 16 rounds apiece.
After almost 2 minutes of intense fire, Matasaranu drops his weapon. The SWAT unit carefully draws near the suspect.
No, what's Rampage? Is Rampage movie similar to the Shootout? Inform us, Jerry Z.
9:59 a.m. Emil Matasaranu is handcuffed.
The patrol car screams towards the truck, but it isn't carrying regular officers. This is SWAT.
I fired 2 rounds through the windshield of the suspect's vehicle.
Anderson shoots the suspect, flush in the chest. He thinks he's ended the gun battle.
I saw the suspect go down.
But the suspect is saved by his armor. To Anderson's horror, Matasaranu resurfaces.
And I thought, maybe I'm the world's worst shot.
They should make a movie called Rampage based on the video game Rampage. That was the best. I think we've talked about that in the past. Yeah, Abe. The police force commandeered weapons and flak jackets from the local gun shop. It's true.
They exchange more fire. Then, a SWAT officer's worst nightmare. Anderson's gun jams. As he clears it, he has an idea. Under the car, he spots a chink in Matasaranu's armor. The suspect isn't wearing protection on his lower legs.
I proned out, aimed, and continued to fire at the suspect.
Finally, with bullets riddling his legs, Matasaranu goes down. He's been shot 29 times, but he's still alive. As SWAT officers move in to arrest him, Matasaranu has a final surprise.
As soon as the suspect was handcuffed, the only thing that he kept saying over and over was, shoot me, kill me. We didn't respond to the suspect. We returned to the bank.
The nearly 45-minute ordeal is over.
When the shooting stopped and we ran up to Matasaranu, he was swearing at us. He was angry. He didn't seem to be in any pain. He just seemed to be real angry that he had lost.
Matasaranu will die before paramedics can reach him.
Back on the streets, one injured man is still bleeding out. Emil Matasaranu lies here for 70 minutes until his body succumbs to the trauma and he dies.
Mind you, I went into the school right around the corner from this shootout, and the shootout lasted 45 minutes, so it ended around 10 a.m. But we didn't know, there was no internet, or at least social media type of internet back then. So even when schools were closed, I remember, or when school got out around 3 o'clock, I remember we were all still on the lookout as far as walking kids out to their parents' cars. I was one of the younger and dumber and tougher guys maybe back then at the school, so I was like in charge of watching the playground at the time. Again, I didn't have any gun on me. If you just got here, I admitted this back at Vegas, but I brought nunchucks with me. I had a survival knife, a Rambo knife on my hip, and nunchucks in my back pocket. That's or actually no, I don't even think I brought the knife into the campus. I think I left it in my car. But yeah, at 3 o'clock, we still had no idea that it was all over. They were still surveying the streets for hours after this happened. Again, it went roughly from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. But by 2:30, 3 p.m., we still had no idea it was all over. Not matter of fact, at least.
His family accuses police of letting him bleed to death. LAPD counters that ambulance personnel followed procedure in hostile situations by not entering the hot zone.
We did request for paramedics to respond to our location, but we definitely didn't want to just let somebody lay there and die just because they are a suspect. And we also have to make sure that that area is safe. For paramedics, they will not go into what they call a hot area as long as there is a possible armed suspect that is still outstanding.
The high-incident bandits fired over 1,100 rounds of ammunition. That's a bullet every 2 seconds. What were they hoping to achieve? They could have made their getaway. When officers raided their apartment, amongst tens of thousands of dollars, they found a possible cause for the gang's bizarre behavior. In the VCR was a copy of the 1995 Hollywood heist movie, Heat. The similarities between the film and the shootout are uncanny. Right down to the fight to the death conclusion. Did a violent fantasy overtake the mind of Larry Phillips?
There's literally an earthquake happening right now in Los Angeles. What the fuck? I gotta love them earthquakes. Whoa, that was weird. Just as the video ended, I had an earthquake. For fuck's sake.
North Hollywood, February 1997. This is the case that would change the rules forever. Officers find themselves against a fully automatic modified AK-47 with armored piercing bullets. Two bank robbers wearing body armor unleash a barrage of ammunition unlike anything police have ever dealt with.
He's wearing heavy body armor, so he's not knocking down at all.
Outgunned officers take cover where they can, behind parked cars, behind buildings. But all the cover provides is a veil. The gunman's powerful bullets tear through concrete and metal and find their targets.
Officer down, officer down.
Police return fire, but their 9mm bullets only chip away at the building. The gunmen are unfazed. They continue to launch 10 rounds per second at everything in sight. This reporter is caught in the crossfire as armored piercing slugs ricochet past his head. Helicopters record the mayhem. They too become targets. Police respond quickly, clearing the area of civilians. Then, The gunmen begin their escape. One robber drives the getaway car. The other strolls alongside as a sweeper, clearing the path of anyone that might stop them. The cop's aim doesn't matter. The suspect's body armor repels the smaller ammunition easily. Police have to act, and they know just what to do. Hit the local gun store and even the odds by obtaining high-powered weapons.
We heard the police were up against perpetrators with body armor, which their normal weapons could not penetrate, and that they needed instant firepower. We loaned them 5 of these rifles, basically a civilian version of the M16 automatic rifle.
Meanwhile, the gunmen show no signs of slowing down. Trapped officers wait nervously as a gunfire approaches. But now officers are returning from the gun store. When the driver sees the decked-out police arrive, he hits the accelerator, leaving his partner behind. True honor among thieves. The other gunman is trapped. Down to a pistol, he continues to shoot at police, not caring what happens. His gun gets shot from his hand, and with the police closing in, the suspect has nowhere to go. A block away, the driver searches for a tougher car, one sturdy enough to ram through any more police resistance. This pickup will do just fine. As the robber calmly transfers his gear to the truck, other civilians continue to drive by unaware. Police know that if he gets rolling again with that firepower still at his side, he may be unstoppable. He sees the officers coming. He bails, preparing to deal with them the same way he's dealt with everyone else. But he's in for a surprise. This is a 5.56 NATO round, a 55-grain bullet coming out of the muzzle at 2,800 feet per second. Now the police have something to work with. The gunman shields himself behind the white car, knowing that bullets from a handgun could never reach him.
He's going to have a little trouble now. There's an officer showing up, and as you can see, they are opening fire right now.
Suddenly, he realizes that his bullets are not stopping the police, and their bullets are getting through to him. He's got nowhere left to hide. His last shot goes into the curb. He struggles to get up, but his robbing days are over.
Officers approaching the vehicle very carefully now, very cautious.
Police secure the street. Miraculously, no police or civilians were killed. For officers like this one, who found himself against the wall, the day is finally over. But what will he face tomorrow? Police are now equipped to handle situations like this, which will surely happen again, because unfortunately, guns like these are fairly easy to obtain. Today, officers need more than just better training. They need more than better weaponry. They need the courage and commitment to stand up against criminals like these.
Packing up my game and I'ma head out west where real women come equipped with scripts and fake press. Find a nest in the hills, chill like Flint. Buy an old drop top, find a spot to dip. Then I'm guys like us, you cuss, they claim the buff. Guys like us, but can't touch. Look, we fought from the guys like us,
Straight out of Compton, crazy mother, named I fear. From the gang called Fellers with Attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a sold off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off. You too, boy, if you're with me. The police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out. For the pump, motherfucker, showing out. When I'm in your neighborhood, you better duck. Cause Ice Cube is crazy ass. As I leave, believe I'm something. I'm coming straight out of Compton. AK-47 is the tool. Don't make me act like a mother fool. You're weekly, monthly, yearly, until them dumb mother see clearly. Straight out of Nashville singing them crazy little rap songs. But my voice just don't quite belong. I'm so lonesome that I could cry. Nothing good'll come from this AI.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What up? I got something to say. Straight out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. From the gang called niggas with attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a sawed off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off. You too, boy, if you fuck with me. The police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out. For the punk motherfuckers that's showing out. Niggas about to mump, they wanna rumble. Mix 'em and cook 'em in a pot like gumbo. Going off on the motherfucker like that. With a gat that's pointed at your ass. So give it up smooth. Ain't no telling when I'm down for a jack move. Here's a murder rap to keep ya dancing. With a crime record like Charles Manson. AK-47 is a tool. Don't make me act a motherfucking fool. Me and you can go toe to toe, no make. I'm knocking niggas out the box daily. Yo, weekly, monthly, and yearly. Until them dumb motherfuckers see clearly that I'm down with the capital CBT. Boy, you can't fuck with me. So when I'm in your neighborhood, you better duck. Cause Ice Cube is crazy as fuck. As I leave, believe I'm starving. But when I come back, boy, I'm coming straight out of town.
Take it over, take it over. I see you trying hard, but we do it better. I know what you think when we're coming over. I know what you think, but you better don't try to play, cause the game is over.
Straight out of Compton, another crazy ass.
Riding in an old school bomb, shotgun pump in the trunk. Bad little bitch in the front, lighting up all my blunts. Never seen a cowboy drill like me. Gold teeth in a brand new Chris White tee. Drop that lean in my ski. They ain't gon' ride down, do it like me. Baby girl, saddle up in my Silverado. Drink the Jack straight out the bottle. Shooting shots like in Chicago. Way back up to a line of Pablo. Got 50 bands in my Wranglers. Yeah, that's right. She fell in love with the cowboy gangster. Girl, let's ride. New Cowboys wear Air Force Ones and tow big guns. Come get you some. Blowing on this wedding cake. I swear I'm up there with you son. She said, what's that on your strap? I told her, baby, it's a drum. Put you in a band or something. I said, call it what you want. Lift it on my Silverado. Hope you ain't scared of heights. Baby, just sip on this bottle and you gon' be alright. I left the door unlocked in case you won't slide on by. Got a brand new king size. Girl, come take it for a ride. Riding in an old school bomb. Shotgun pump in the trunk. Bad little bitch in the front. Lighting up all my blunts. Never seen a cowboy drill like me. Gold teeth in a brand new Chris White tee. Drop that lean in my ski. They ain't gon' ride down, do it like me. Baby girl, saddle up in my Silverado. Drink the Jack straight out the bottle. Shooting shots like in Chicago. Way back up to a line of Pablo. Got 50 bands in my Wranglers. Yeah, that's right. She fell in love with the cowboy gangster. Girl, let's ride.
With a NS banger. Gang, let me twist my finger. Big ones on my head like Wrangler. Cuban link down, let's tangle up. Yeah. Long way jigsaw, 1,008 grand on my whole brick raw. What you jigging like, bitch? I'm a G6. Country boy like a pretty black thick bitch. If from the back when I'm chewing on a toothpick. From the through we still on that trap shit. Keep it scrap cause you still get clap quick. Murder the cap, kill a nigga cap quick. What put a nigga body in the old school trunk? Round 26s on the old school don't. Crip blue like a bitch, see time of the month. Bitch sprint dog, we don't do lows of the run. Long way, bitch.
Riding in the old school dome. Shotgun pump in the trunk. Bad little bitch in the front. Lighting up all my blunts. Never seen a cowboy drill like me. Gold teeth in a brand new Chris White tee. Drop that lean in my teeth. You ain't gon' ride down, do it like me. Baby girl, stand her up, myself around. Drink the J straight out the bottle.
Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Killing in the name of. You do what they told you. Now you do what they told you. Now you do what they told you. Now you do what they told you. And now you do what they told you. You're under control. And now you do what they told you. You're under control. And now you do what they told you. You're under control. And now you do what they told you. Now you're under control. And now you do what they told you. You're under control. And now you do what they told you. You're under control. And now you do what they told you. You're under control. And now you do what they told you. Those who die are justified for wearing the badge.
So of course, for amateurs, this circle to the point where they were captured and drugged by the hoods. But the more they were captured,
are justified for wearing the badge. They're chosen right. They're justified. Those who die for wearing the badge. They're chosen right. Come on. Are justified. Those who die are justified. Those who die are justified for wearing the badge. Take your chosen right. Those who die are justified for wearing the badge. Those who die are justified for wearing the badge. Take your chosen right. Those who die are justified for wearing the badge. Take your chosen right. Killing in the name of. I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to. Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. Father, into your hands, why have you forsaken me? In your eyes forsaken me. In your thoughts forsaken me. In your heart forsaken me. Oh, trust in my self-righteous suicide. I cried when angels deserve to die. In my self-righteous suicide, I cried when angels deserve to die. One, two,
3 into the 4. Snoop, Doggy Dogg, and Dr. Dre is at the door. Ready to make an entrance, so back on up.
Cause you know we're about to rip shit up.
Give me the microphone first so I can bust like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach together, now you know you in trouble. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. Too loped out niggas, so we're crazy. Death Row is the label that pays me. Unfadable, so please don't try to fake this. But back to the lecture at hand. Perfection is perfected, so I'ma let them understand. From a young G's perspective. And before me dig on a bitch, I have to find a contraceptive. You never know, she could be earning her man and learning her man. And at the same time burning her man. Now you know I ain't with that shit, Lieutenant. Ain't no pussy good enough to get burned while I'm offended. Yeah. And that's realer than real deal, Holyfield. And now you hookers and hoes know how I feel. Well, if it's good enough to get broke off a proper chunk, I take a small piece of some of that funky stuff. It's like this and like that and like this and it's like that and like this and like that and it's like this and like that and like this and Drake creep to the mic like a fan.
Well, I'm peeping and I'm creeping and I'm creeping. But I damn near got caught, cause my beeper kept beeping. Now it's time for me to make my impression felt. So sit back, relax, and strap on your seatbelt. You've never been on a ride like this before. With a producer who can rap and control the maestro. At the same time with the dope rhyme that I kick. You know and I know I flow some old funky shit. To add to my collection, this selection symbolizes dope. Take a toke but don't choke. If you do, you have no clue of what me and my homie Snoop Dogg came to do.
It's like this, that, and this, and it's like that, and like this, and like that, and it's like this.
Then who gives a fuck about those?
So just chill to the next episode.
My niggas crooked though it seems. My every single thought is caught up in collecting cream. I'm made, nigga. Picture me dying in the blaze. A gunfire will not retire till I'm paid. To the base of power. When we fly by. Bitches throw me kisses. Niggas who come to Brooklyn, come on, get your riches. From Crenshaw to 125 and do or die. Rolling with niggas from Long Beach to Long Island. I hardly smell cause my heart froze. Once I commence my show, I rip apart foes. Now I got one nation, it's a crooked compilation just to end the bullshit. Let's get back to money making, tell them busters that I rolled on, controlling the house. My shit so wicked when I flip, niggas closing their mouth. The Coco Brothers, Buckshot, the BDI Thug, Greg Nice, L.A.SP, so show a nigga love outlaw.
So if you do, you have no clue of what me and my homie Snoop Dogg came to do.
It's like this and like that and like this and it's like that and like this and like that and it's like this.
Then who gives a fuck about those?
So just chill to the next episode.
Your beauty is beyond compare, with flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Your smile is like a breath of spring, your voice is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene. He talks about you in his sleep, and there's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name, Jolene. And I can easily understand how you could easily take my man, but you don't know what he means to me, Jolene.
That morning, in the city of Angels, the weather was mild and pleasant. The blue sky over the city suggests a pleasant, sunny day. Just another winter's morning, you might say, for the residents of North Hollywood who have no idea.
Jolene, please don't take him just because you can. You have your choice of men, but I could never love again. He's the only one for me, Jolene. I had to have this talk with you. My happiness depends on you, and whatever you decide to do, Jolene. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him even though you can. Jolene, Jolene.
Seeing the robber's determination, he gives him access without resisting. And this doesn't stop Emil from whacking him over the head with a rifle butt. Once inside the vault, Emil gets more and more upset. The deputy manager unlocks secure boxes containing only small bundles. The bandit's big black bag isn't filling up fast enough for his liking. They had planned on a haul of $750,000, and all they can do. a single car was in sight. Larry goes out to investigate and scans the area. He sees a police car parked on his right, but no more concerned than that, he returns to the bank undisturbed.
Nobody look for me where I will be.
Very superstitious, writings on the wall. Very superstitious, writings on the wall. 13 months old baby, brother looking back. 7 years better, good things in your past. When you believe in things that you don't understand, and you suffer. Superstition everywhere. Very superstition. Wash your face and hands.
Looks like a Beastie Boys video.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that face. Even your emotions had an echo, so much space. When you're out there without care, I was out of touch. It wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Probably. And I hope that you are having the time of your life. Oh, but think twice. That's my only advice. Come on now, who do you think you are? Oh, oh, that's your soul. Do you really think that you're in control? Well, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me. Yeah. My heroes had the heart to lose their lives out on a limb. And all I remember is thinking, I wanna be like them. Ever since I was little, it looked like fun. It's no coincidence that I've come I can die when I'm done. Baby, I'm crazy. Baby, you're crazy. Baby, we're crazy. Probably. La 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 la. La 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 la. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa.
P.F. Chang's invites you to celebrate the holidays.
Hold on, what are you going to do? You'll recognize this. Okay. It's great. Hands over my ears.
No, this one's this. Oh, it is. Perfect.
When you hear the phone, you and the eyes, you flow like a feather, and your skin and make me cry. You're just like an angel, and you're beautiful. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here when I don't belong here? It's okay if it hurts. Don't wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I want me one of those brand new perfect souls. I said I want you to know that when I'm not around, yeah, you're so fucking special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here when I don't belong here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here. What the fuck am I doing here? But I don't belong here. Whatever makes you happy, whatever you want. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special. Trouble, 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 trouble,
trouble. Trouble been dog in my soul since the day I was born. Worry, 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 worry. Worry just will not seem to leave my mind alone. Well, I've been saved by a woman. I've been saved by a woman. I've been saved by a woman. She won't let me go. She won't let me go now. She won't let me go. She won't let me go now. Trouble, oh, trouble, 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 trouble. Feels like every time I get back on my feet, she come around and knock me down again. Worry, oh, worry, 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 worry. Sometimes I swear it feels like this worry is my only friend. Well, I've been saved by a woman. I've been saved by a woman. I've been saved by a woman. She won't let me go. She won't let me go now. She won't let me go. She won't let me go. Oh, she good to me now. She gave me love and affection. Say she good to me now. She gave me love and affection. I said I love her. Yes, I love her. I said I love her. I said I love her. She good to me now. She good to me. She good to me.